This conference will now be recorded.
I'd like to call to order the March 2nd, 2026 regular council meeting to order at 6:30 PM. All right, to the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So, before we get started, is Councilor Wagner on the meeting or?
Yes, she's on one.
Oh, okay. Welcome, everyone. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda? If not, would anyone like to make a motion to?
Just 11B will be the police report.
Okay,
11B.
new business, Joseph?
Under number 11, business from department.
11, okay.
I'll move to accept the agenda of the one addition of 11B, police report.
Okay. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Councilor Norman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Susan saying aye. Is she muted?
Susan, would you like to vote or are you just going to observe? I can't hear. She says yes, aye.
Okay.
Okay, motion carried. Thank you. Mayor's report. I don't have any tonight. Any presentations? Okay. Any council committee reports? I have one, but you go ahead.
Let me go first?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so at the Parks meeting, I'll try to get through this quickly. There was a unanimous vote for Gary Brown to be accepted to the Park Committee, be presented to us. At the next Parks meeting, there's going to be a review of Ordinance 880, discussion on that. And then also you're going to be contacted about the lifeguard possibility at the pool. And then they're going to move to have a cleanup day, and that will be on the 26th, I believe. And I think it's going to be from 11. Was it 11 to 3, I think, was the final? Anyway.
I don't know if it's set in stone.
Which is a Sunday. The 26th is on a Sunday. So,
April.
yes. Yep.
That's a town-wide cleanup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think Anderson Park, the lake, and some work out at the Nehalem River Park. Those three were mentioned. Also, there was discussion about backfilling at the docks that hadn't been done yet.
Yeah, that's on the work. We got to do that.
That and signage at the docks was a concern. Something about,
Signage in what way?
well, with respect to I believe it was due to the slippage of the dock. I could be wrong on that.
Like it's slippery?
Yeah,
Okay,
but I can double check on that.
okay. I have one other question. So you guys reviewed Gary's application,
Yes, they did. Yep.
They sent it to me today.
the recommendation? Okay.
So it'll be
I was just making,
So it'll, yeah,
I was making sure that a letter got to Stephanie for you guys to appoint
so
him.
it'll probably come up next meeting.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, and that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Dennis. I know the last meeting, we talked quite a bit about liaisons and their relation with the committees and vice versa. And you know, we kind of changed policy a little bit. And so I went to my first Public Works Committee meeting last Tuesday night. And I got here about 5 minutes to 6 when the meeting starts. And there at that table right there were 5 committee members and Josette. Josette was there that night to add information on the budget. And there was one seat where Sergeant was sitting that was empty. And they had all their paperwork in front of them, their agenda. And so they welcomed me as the new liaison, and I listened to their meeting, and I got a little different perspective on what the committees do for our community. And I saw 5 people that volunteer their time once a month. In this case, it's the last Tuesday of the month. And they're real serious about it. And I've appointed people in the last 7 years to different committees. And some have been here when I appointed them. Some haven't. Some we never see again. I was a part of the library board for over a year. I really enjoyed it. Didn't miss a meeting. I learned a lot what they do. I was a part of the cemetery committee for maybe 6 months, and then they unfortunately disbanded, don't have a quorum anymore, which I'm trying to get back going. But I saw the importance of the committee needing a liaison, and the council needing those committees to be active. And so I thought of an idea, like how the city of Vernonia has quarterly dinners with the county, and everyone comes together and talks about their progress and everything. So I'm just going to throw this out there. I think it'd be like maybe once a year have a council committee dinner, or you could do it in an informal setting at the scout cabin, and we could provide pizza. But have each chair from each committee give an update on what they're doing and what their projects are working on, and then we could get to see these committees and what they want to do. And so in our council rules, section 10, letter E, it talks about, and it's very simple. It says that our responsibility is to attend. If we take on the liaison, it's our responsibility to go to these meetings. If we can't make the meetings, we have to report the reason why and when we missed them. So I hope I'm just trying to encourage everyone to get involved more, and so I just wanted to share you with the different insight I had. Now I can go into that meeting. Good meeting. Josette was prepared with our annual budget and where we're at right now. And so that was helpful for them, because they want a future project. They'd like to get the crack ceiling going again with the big machine, and that was very productive this last year. So they're trying to do that before our budget in May. And another interesting thing going on is they're trying to come up with a process, an aeration process in pond number 1. And And one of the committee members, has really been looking into this, and I'm not going to mention any names, but they came up with a process where it really will help the different levels. And Dale, I'm sure you're well aware of the aeration, but anyway, it was they welcomed me and they were just glad to have somebody there. And so I'll keep my spiel down. So I just wanted to share that with everyone tonight. So that's all I have. And again, I'm trying to get the cemetery committee going. I contacted one of the old members and they're willing to come back. In fact, she contacted another member of that committee and they're wanting to come back. I think I talked my wife into maybe applying for that meeting or board meeting. So, and then I did take it on myself and along with Josette, we applied for another flyover for our Memorial Day service. So we have our application in and fingers crossed, we have a pretty good chance of getting it. So, but anyway, that's all I have. Any topics from the floor? Okay, a consent agenda for acceptance, library board meeting minutes for September 2025. Parks Committee minutes for November 2025. Public Works Committee minutes for January 26. Any discussion or questions for those three meeting minutes?
I'll move, we accept the consent agenda for acceptance.
So moved. Is there a second?
No, second.
Seconded by Counselor Weller. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Susan said aye.
Okay, motion carried. Set agenda for approval, City Council meeting minutes for February 2nd, 2026. City Council meeting minutes for February 9th, 2026.
So move to accept.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Norman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion carried. Okay, moving right into unfinished staff report, fireworks funding request.
Okay, so you guys had asked staff, planning on it being the February 7th, 18th, that got canceled. So the request was to tell you where in the budget there would be any extra money. Should council want to fund the $2,000 request instead of the $1,000 as last year. And so really where it would come out of in general fund would be contract services.
Yeah.
So you-
Available.
Yeah, so you guys need to determine what the donation is and how much.
That's where we need to come up with that donation line item so that we have a finite chunk of money that we're willing to hand out so that we're not trying to find it when somebody comes asking.
Stephanie, go ahead.
She's typing, her mic isn't working, so I'm just gonna read when she has something, if that's okay. Susan said, Counselor Wagner said, I am uncomfortable drawing funds from other funds at this time. I believe we should accept the 1,000 or a $1,200 request.
Okay.
So the request last year was 1,000. There's 1,200 sitting in that line item that you used last year. If you wanted to do the extra money, it would come out of contract services.
Would we transfer that over or would we just take it straight from it?
Yeah, you don't transfer.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why Angie was saying that council needs to get a donation line item in the budget.
Yeah.
So that we can earmark money, so then we aren't trying to find it in the future. It's a certain set amount that you guys have to give out, and then when it's gone, it's gone kind of thing. That doesn't exist right now.
Just one question for staff. Are you comfortable zeroing out the miscellaneous?
It's just there for oddball things that pop up that don't really fit anywhere else, but it's not the end of the world if something does come up. I mean, it's,
You can find it.
I can find it, but.
Okay.
It's just, makes it,
I'm just curious if we want to leave 200 there
yeah, I mean,
and doesn't matter.
not really, not this late in the year.
What's the extra?
If we were to just split
On an extra $1,000.
the 2,000,
2,000.
in other words, add 500 this year instead of the extra 1,000.
So you take 500 out of contract services? Hey, you guys can determine whatever you want to do. We're just telling you where funds exist. If you were to do either one. So it's between all 5 of you guys, what you want to do.
Yeah. What do you think, Counselor Webb?
Well, it is the 250th.
Yeah.
Go big or go home.
Although, Eric, you're sure that's enough fireworks? I don't know. if That was a
It's never enough.
good one to wear.
It's never enough. I thought it would inspire you.
So where are you at with donations right now?
We're at 11,000.
And you're seeking to get how much to put it on?
I was hoping for 17, but kind of an arbitrary number. We did 12 last year and I wanted to go bigger than that. Kind of a tough economy to fundraise in right now, so it's been slow.
Any thoughts, Counselor?
Yeah, I was thinking half out of one and half out of the other.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
what do the figures look like then, so we can make a motion on that? If you
Just
so desire.
Out of,
Miscellaneous and 1,000 out of contract services, if that's what you're doing.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
That we donate to the, doesn't say Vernonia fireworks funds, but
Yeah.
say that. $1,000 out of contract services and $1,000 out of miscellaneous. This year's fireworks show.
Okay. Totals out 2,000.
Yeah.
All right. Which is what was desired. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Counselor Weller. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Counselor Wagner is a no.
Okay, 1 no, 4 ayes, motion carried. Okay. Good luck on getting the rest of it, Eric.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again for doing this for our community, being here again tonight.
Good for the town pride.
Yep.
yes.
Literally all goes up in smoke.
Yeah.
Well, small community like this and those,
No, I just,
your display never disappoints. Pretty amazing.
looking for it. I just asked him if he,
Okay,
Retyped it.
no, I just asked him if he'd seen it.
unfinished business, staff report approval of contract and police chief job posting. It's 13 through 21.
They made some. Okay.
Okay, so this one's from me also. At the work session on February 9th, you guys discussed filling the police chief position. At that meeting, you reviewed documents related and just talked with legal. And you directed me to change some of the documents and make amendments for your review. And so what you have in front of you is the amendments you had requested, the two documents. There's very few changes to the job description. There was just the change of compensation type to twice monthly instead of bi-monthly. And then in the contract, there's just the position. You didn't really change much in that because Ruben had already proposed the changes before he presented it to you. So it's just for you guys to approve, and if you approve it, then I'll post internally the opening.
So, yeah, so I underlined the key word here for a motion. It would be direct the city administrator to move forward with internally posting the position of chief of police for a period of 14 days. So, any discussion or questions on this topic?
Susan's issue's been addressed. I mean,
The typos and stuff that
She
she,
has none.
yeah, she came on Friday and double.
okay,
Okay.
good.
Yeah. She just had a couple of weird typos that I missed.
Any questions or concerns?
So after it's posted, then what takes place? How does this work?
Well, like I said before, the job would be posted. If any employee in the police department can meet that obligation, they would say they are interested. They would be checked that they meet all of the requirements, and then they would be hired by the city in that position. They would sign the contract. Because you guys have directed me to be the one signing the contract. Is there something else you wanted done that you're thinking of?
I'm just, I don't know if it's appropriate to ask.
It is not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I figured.
That's for the clarification. That's why we post it.
Yeah.
I just have one comment. I thought we had a very valuable workshop session and we met with the city attorney and a lot of questions were answered. And I think we did pretty good on this. So that's my personal opinion. So anyway, anything else? Okay, anyone want to move
Well,
forward?
I can't remember all of that mouthful you said there, so.
Yeah.
What was it?
It's in the second line, second
I
paragraph.
underlined it.
Okay, I'll move to direct the city administrator to move forward with internally posting the position of chief of police, the city of Vernonia, for a period of 14 days.
Motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Norman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilor Wagner's an aye.
Motion carried unanimously. Okay, very good. Let's move into new business information only, SCI filing. Stephanie.
It's just the information only item. It's just another reminder every year for you guys to file your SEI. You'll get an email at some point. Indicating you guys.
And if you have any questions, I know this is probably Dennis's first time filing for economic interest, but Stephanie's really helpful.
No, I had to file last year.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay, yeah, okay. That's right. So, okay. Staff report, fiscal year 2026, 2027 budget calendar.
There we go.
Busy month in May.
You're okay with it?
Oh, this-
Same as it always is.
Good.
Yeah, okay.
One correction, we're actually presenting it on March 2nd
Well, yeah, it was, I wasn't gonna.
instead of February 16th. So,
That part doesn't really matter.
so we need a motion, of course.
One thing to point out, we are going to be doing the meetings on Wednesdays this year due to conflicts with the Lions Club meeting at the.
Okay, it'll still be at the senior center. Yep. Burkettfield room. Yep. Wednesdays. Okay, any questions for,
We got to appoint the budget officer.
yeah,
Okay. I'll make a motion.
yeah,
I move to appoint Josette Mitchell as the budget officer for the 2026, 2027 budget process and approve the budget calendar.
so moved. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Counselor Willer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Counselor Wagner is aye.
Okay, motion carried. New business, Parks Committee recommendations, floater brewer plaque. The picture of it or what it may look like on page 25. Susie's not here tonight. I see John here. Good.
Fortunately, she's very sick tonight.
Oh, is she? Okay. What year was the pond dug out? John, do you know?
About 1970.
1970? What year was the pond dug out and formed?
It was never dug out, it was just.
Oh,
Yeah, cleaned up.
Yeah, that was in the early 70s, I can't remember.
Yeah. Did they have a bucket, cable with a bucket and they cleaned it out a lot?
I don't know.
Oh, when they originally built it?
Yeah.
I don't-
19, or
It was salvaged early on after.
1922.
Yeah.
The sheet sinkers and zero hard salvage. But other than that, it was never dug out per se.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get from either Parks Committee. So this shows on brick. Is the hope that the bronze plaque would be mounted to a post? Or was there a design?
There's a couple designs. Susan really had her mind, and I wanted to work with, actually you, I adjust that for depending on what location
Okay,
the city would prefer.
okay,
One of them is probably on the log wall dump, the wall right there.
okay,
Probably mount like a 1/4 inch by 4 inch plate steel on the lakeside to come up
okay,
on the back, on the lakeside of it, it was sloped and metal and powder coated black and then bolt the bronze plate to that. Or the other one would be, she was wanting to know if a cedar post would be allowed off of the floater property and put down there to the left where there's that wide gravel area the city put in there just past the park house.
okay. And so they also have wording that they want?
Yeah, she has.
Okay, okay. I just need, I was,
Like that, get approval from the city.
okay, yeah.
Can be fairly simple.
Yeah, I just
One
didn't,
paragraph or less. Probably 10 by 10 or 12 by 10 at the biggest, you know. So gotta make it kind of vandalized proof. They can't just rip it off.
yeah. And if we, I mean, one thing we could do too is work to kind of, we could metal back it.
Yes.
And so then it really,
Yeah, there's a lot of wood posts that are being metal bolted deep in with lags and then some little offsets coming up short where the plaque could mount to the steel.
yeah, okay.
The thing I have with the wooden post is the deterioration over time.
I almost think we do, it'd probably be better served to do 4-inch square tube and just paint that and the
Metal.
buffer the same color and then mount the plaque to that. Because then you got a long time before it, similar to it would kind of match the informational posts that are around the lake. We don't have to do it in the green. We could do it in something a little richer looking, but those ones that tell you what the different buildings are, what kind of nature is in there, those are done on metal and those have lasted forever. So,
That sounds, yeah.
but yeah, I'll get with,
Yeah.
if someone has their contact info, I could get with her and come up with it.
Well, I don't have a problem with this at all, so. We're just looking for a motion to, from the city council tonight to approve the memorial plaque for Walt Floater at the Vernonia Lake. So,
I'll make a motion.
We accept the plaque at the
okay,
lake for Walt Floater.
okay. You want to second it?
Sure, I'll second it.
Seconded by Counselor Weller. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Counselor Wagner is an aye, as suggested by the city administrator. The metal post.
Okay. So motion carried. Well, congratulations. Yeah. Okay, business from the departments. Public Works Department quarterly report. Pages 26 to 28. Looks like it's all good.
Yeah.
Very well put together.
Yep.
We've come a long ways.
In the reporting.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Counselor Wagner said, thank you, Jeff, for the excellent and thorough report.
Yeah.
And Chris.
Okay, moving right along. Ordinances and resolutions. Resolution number 2026-03, adopting a supplemental budget.
They have the police report first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
B.
Yep. Sorry.
All right, good evening. So this month we were a little short, a couple days short, only 28 days for February. But we still managed to do 176 calls for service. 43 were premise checks. On the 26th, so last week, last Thursday, the raid team had breaching training. And so a couple of us went to that. I was on vacation, so I didn't get to go, but I think that went pretty well, because all the other agencies were there as well. So pretty much all I have.
Any questions?
Any public update of what happened out here the other day?
On Saturday,
Is that Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday.
so Columbia County Sheriff's Office was looking for somebody out Keezy Road. And they got wind that there was a subject matching that description out at Titus Field. Officer Kendall tried to let him know that it's probably David Henson and not the guy that they're looking for, but they all decided that they were going to go out there and look anyway. And so they ended up arresting a subject, wasn't David, but and it wasn't the guy that they were looking for. So on a misdemeanor warrant. So
I was just coming into town and the posse went roaring out. The two staters were already there. So
that's what that was about on Saturday. So.
Okay. Thanks, Sergeant. Now we're moving into the resolution 2026-03, adopting a supplemental budget. Page 29.
So really don't have a whole lot for this. The biggest part was the backhoe that Public Works bought from the county. That happened right after the budget was adopted, so I had to put that in here. We just reduced the transfer out to each of the facility reserves by $12,500 to cover the cost of the backhoe in each of the operating funds. And then in the police department, the county, I can never actually get it right what they did or what they're not providing anymore.
It'd be Columbia County 911.
Okay, so
Separate entity. So they were footing the bill all these years for our VPN to get us to connect to our our mobile data terminals. And with the way things are for them, they can't do it anymore. And so we're having to upgrade our server so that we can take care of the VPN to log on to everything. And that project is a little more than, it's overkill for what we need, but IT says that that's how it has to happen. So our hands are kind of tied.
yeah, the biggest cost is just the labor of IT doing all the stuff and get everything set up. And then after that, the annual cost isn't really much at all. So it's just a one-time cost for that. And then the other things, the airport, cemetery and parks are just pretty minor. Gravel, cost of rock went up quite a bit from previous years, so I had to move some money around in the airport for that. And then in parks, it was just a little bit out of contract services for some electrical work that was done down at the lake. Bathrooms, wasn't planned for.
And that was 18.5. Without
For what?
the contract services
That's,
out of the general.
that's for the police.
That's for the police.
Oh, place, okay.
Sorry, I just jumped ahead. Yeah. Part of that is going to get paid for in the police department. Eva's been applying for lots of grants and stuff, so they've been getting some extra money, and that's what that $6,500 is. That's just extra income that they're using to supplement their expenses. So we didn't have to pull the full amount out of contingent
For the police.
project. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Do you guys have any other questions?
What was the percentage of where we're at in the budget? 69,
67,
67%. So
2/3 of the way.
in our public works meeting, Josette shared that information, how we're doing in the percentage toward our budget for this year. And 67% is we're right on track. I mean, we're doing well, so good. So
That's next.
I don't have any other questions. Requiring a motion though for this resolution.
I'll move we adopt resolution number 2026-03. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Vernonia, Oregon, adopting a supplemental budget for the fiscal year 2025-2026.
So moved. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Counselor Weller. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Good. Any correspondence? All right. Okay, any items from the mayor or council? I do want to add another comment towards the parks, or the, not parks, but liaison committee and their relationship. I really think that, you know, continuity is the key and consistency is the key. And I know that the Public Works Committee really would like a consistent liaison there for, you know, I don't know if 6 months is adequate enough for that to take place. So, you know, I'd like to review it maybe in this summer when after 6 months comes up, and we could talk about it then. And you're going to choose 3 new people in January of next year anyway. So that was all that I wanted to add to it, that I think continuity is the key here. And so that's all I want to say on that. So anybody else have anything?
Well,
Can I do my report?
Yes. Oh.
You jumped in. That's okay.
Getting used to not wearing glasses and so.
Okay, so the ADA project, the striping at the crosswalks will take place, as we know, around April, according to the contractor. There is one thing, I'm going to jump on their meeting tomorrow. They removed a bollard by the fire hydrant at Four Stags. They did not replace a bollard. So I'm going to be pushing them to replace that, because now that the curb's so flat, you could turn into that fire hydrant, and that's not what we need, is someone hitting that. We'd like them to hit their car and get a notice before they hit the fire hydrant. So I'm going to be going into their Zoom meeting tomorrow about that. Spencer Park cameras, so the electrician's been on site and the plan's been developed. We're pushing, now we have to go back to Blue Mountain. So basically all the cameras will need to plug into like a DVR mainframe. So we're trying to figure out how big is that and how big of a box needs to go mounted on the pole above the floodplain, so that if we have a flood event, all of that infrastructure doesn't get damaged. So we're waiting to kind of figure out how big for those cameras does that need to be, so I can order the box that it'll all fit in. The SDC study, so I sent out the notice of award today. We had, this says the notice of intent to award had been out, but now time's passed. So the 7 days passed for contesting. There were no comments. So FCS did get the notice of award, and I sent them the contract to sign for that. Their bid, we had 30,000 in the budget. Their bid came in at 29,835, or I think I wrote, 834. So they were within budget and they were the qualified bidder. So then once they sign the contract, we'll do a notice to proceed, and then they will come here, they will get all of the comprehensive plan, the parks master plan, the water master plan, because those are all the documents that they take into account for planning what the SDC fees need to be to look out 20 years and pay for that infrastructure based on houses that are built, pay into the system per unit price for that infrastructure down the line, right? So we're working on that. And then once they come up with their plan, there's a process we have to follow by state law to notify the public that these fees are going up and why they're going up, and kind of a justification process and a period of review. And then we can adopt the fees in an ordinance. So I'll bring that back to you guys when we get more movement on that. They will be presenting at, I believe in the contract, they at minimum present in one council meeting. It could be two, depending on if there's back and forth with the study. The Sustainable Infrastructure Planning Project, so we received the executed contract from Business Oregon. So now Robert can bill hours towards working on that feasibility study for the water intake. The SIP 2027, that's the community funding that you go through for your senators or representatives. Our application to Senator Merkley in Wyden's office was due on the 25th. That's been turned in. And our application going into Representative Bonamici's office is due on the 4th. And that's like 75% completed. I just haven't submitted it. And the reason you go to both of them is so then when they're at subcommittee, they can talk amongst themselves for organs money and decide who can better fit funding into their project. So it kind of gives you an extra chance for one or the other to fund you in the subcommittee. Ours is under the subcommittee for transportation. It's part of the highway improvement plan because State Avenue is the only federally identified eligible section of road in our town. It connects the merchantable timberlands in the county to the city to the state highway. So that's the only street in Vernonia that's federally recognized that could fit into that. We did, as the mayor said, we did submit a request for the military flyover for Memorial Day. And so we'll just, fingers crossed, wait on that. And then the request for locks at the senior center, Mitch was doing some soldering of copper pipe at the water plant. There was a seepage that was noticed at the tour of the Public Works Committee. And so he was fixing that copper pipe and it ran late. So he wasn't able to get the locks installed last Thursday, but they will be this Thursday. And those were requested by the seniors so that they could lock the kitchen off when they let other groups that are not senior groups use the building. Now that they're out of the CDBG requirements, they can let use of the building be to the general public. And that was one of their worries, was with all the rules they have to follow about the kitchen, not being able to close that off from people that are renting, just someone going in there and washing their hands or messing with something kind of stressed them out. So they will be paying for the cost of the locks, but Jim McAllister, who is a contract worker that works in the door industry that lives at Anderson Park, did the holing out of the solid door and the jigging out of the door jamb for free as a benefit to the seniors. And then Mitch is going to be doing the hole sawing through the plate and installing the locks for the seniors. So that'll be good. That's something they wanted that'll be good. And then just a little update, the flower baskets have been ordered and they should be here around Mother's Day. And then we have 4 out of the 5 weeks this month are meetings. So we've seen a lot of each other. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Josette. Okay, items from the mayor and council. Just to remind everyone, next Monday night, March 9th, we have a workshop on streets, 6 p.m. Stephanie.
I have an item from Councilor Wagner.
Okay.
Councilor Wagner says, under items from councilors, I'd like to request that the council would consider paying for costs for me to attend the League of Oregon Cities conference. I did not get the scholarship, which pays for the registration in the hotel room. I would appreciate consideration for at least one night as well. I will be staying 3 nights as the conference starts early in the morning and ends around 7 p.m. the second night. Registration is $350 plus $75 for the councilor's initial event. I'm not sure of the room cost yet, as you have to register before accessing the block rates. Thank you for your consideration, Councilor Wagner.
She had asked me if they could come out of the training budget line item, and it can. We have room. I didn't, at the time that she got a hold of me, it was she had just asked for the 350, but there's plenty to cover the 75 additional. So it's up to you guys if you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to send somebody.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. So, do you need a motion, Stephanie? Okay.
Yes, we were approving.
So she, say the numbers again, 350?
350 for the registration, plus $75 for the initial counselor's amendment, so that would be $425.
Plus.
Also requesting support for one night stay, at least one night stay if possible. I don't
So you could say the 425 plus one night at the block room rate, if that's what you're okay with.
Block room rate. Yeah.
Said she can pay for the hotel if need be.
She wants us to pay for one night?
Yeah,
Okay.
and she's gonna pay for the other two, is what it sounds like. But if you just say the block room rate, she'll get the rate. It's gonna be like, what, 118, or it'll be whatever the deal is for cities to send people. I don't know. We don't know until you log in. So, make a motion?
She's willing to go, why?
Not hearing anything from anybody.
So you need a motion?
Yeah.
All right.
So moved.
So your
For the fourth,
motion is to approve the request to pay for
The 425 and she
the
wants,
registration and one nights of stay.
yeah.
So you made a motion, Counselor Weller? Okay, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Counselor Webb. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
She's gonna abstain.
Motion carried. Okay. Any other items from the counselors tonight?
So thank you.
You're welcome. When is that, in April?
Pretty sure.
20.
April 21st, something like that?
23rd through 24th.
21st to the 24th, okay. Okay, action items. Oh, go ahead.
We'll be having high school forestry class planting trees on Wednesday. We'll be down in by the transfer station there, putting a few in there and then the rest in McNair Forest.
right,
Good time to plant,
Pines.
good time to plant trees, Dale.
Yeah, I think so. Some of them already went in up at 4.
How big's that group up there, Dale?
What's that?
How big's the group that, is it,
the
Yeah.
students, how many students? How many?
how many students are involved in that?
Oh, well, I don't know. It depends each year. They have different sizes. There's probably a good dozen or better.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, trees planted.
Is that led by Mr. Benassi?
Yeah.
Yeah, good.
I make it pretty easy for them. I go down with the auger and auger the holes in, and then I went and hauled our special dirt, help the trees along. So anyhow, everything's ready. All they gotta do is stick them in there and tamp the dirt down. And hopefully we'll have our stakes and we'll tube them too, but if not, we'll finish that up. So.
Yeah. Okay, anybody have anything else? Okay, action item summary.
Okay, so staff will cut the check for $2,000 to the Vernonia Fireworks Fund and give it to Eric. Staff's going to internally post the police chief position. And then staff will cut a check for the registration fees plus one room rate for attendance to the League of Oregon City Conference. Anything else?
Okay.
And then is someone going to get me Susan's contact info so I can get with her about the plaque? I don't have it.
I don't think her phone works out there.
Do you have an email or anything?
I can probably try to I'll get that for you.
Okay, that'd be good, because then we could meet up somewhere, or she could tell me her availability.
Okay, well, thank you all for attending tonight's meeting, and I'll adjourn this meeting at 7:25. Meeting adjourned.